Good afternoon, I'm Adam
I'm
Hadfield.
Cheryl Hadfield.
We are Vitalis Health, and this is Bru and
Bru
Breakthroughs.
Breakthrough, but without the brew.
And we're very late.
We are very late.
We've not done it for a few weeks.
For about 4 weeks.
Life has been lifing.
It really has, hasn't it? Yeah, it really has. We'll cover obviously one of the suggestions on my suggestion box yesterday. I think another one to talk about is going to be that what you just said, like life and what's been happening in terms of busyness, stress, etc.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. I did a post about that today. Like this is where often plans start to fail. You know, in a perfect world, you get given your macros, you get given your training plan, and you can have all the best intentions in the world, but you know, stress happens, life events happen, and suddenly it all goes out the window, and that becomes not your priority.
Yeah.
That's where traditional coaching sometimes falls down, I think, because it doesn't support that, in my opinion.
Yeah, and I mean, personally, oh gosh, the cat's tapping at the window.
Meow.
I'm actually a bit sick of the word stress at the minute, but I think everyone's feeling it, and stress is actually good. We do need it, as we mentioned
in small amounts
in one of the other Bru Breakthroughs. But I think a lot of people are struggling as well because they're not feeling supported. And when you don't feel supported, and there's that saying that it doesn't cost anything to be nice, and you have no idea what's going on with people. So I mean, I'm not going to go into this, but I've had a bit of an emotional truck hit me this week, and it's had a knock-on effect with everything. But it's also made me realise what's important as well.
And we also said, like, when obviously that did happen, that you know, right, okay, for the rest of the week, doesn't matter if things don't go perfectly. It's just about doing what we can do in the here and now, isn't it?
Yeah, it's managing
it. Because if you do try and stick to the plan 100% and it doesn't go well, you're just going to add to that stress, I think. So sometimes it's about, right, let's just take a step back. What can I do versus what can't I do? I think that's the question you need to ask.
Yeah, and my foot's always on the gas with especially work, but to the point, this is a realisation for myself. I get very complacent when I'm at home, as in I neglect certain home tasks, and you know, this obviously it's not very fair to you because Adam does quite a lot of them because he works from home, such as like the washing, the dishwasher, cat litter, and sometimes I just think, with everything going on, I feel almost physically and mentally numb. But you can't just neglect you know, your life responsibilities like that as well. If you neglected your bills, like didn't pay them, there'd be consequences, wouldn't there? So it's just about priorities and, you know, the people you live with, you know, communication, respect, 50-50. I've definitely been, I think it's been more 75-25 recently, but I'm aware of it. And when people are not aware of it, I think that's where
equally, I don't ever say anything about it when I recognise that there's other things going on. I just get on with it.
And it's my fault in a way as well, because I deal with stress. I either blow up or I go quiet, and I've been already this week making it a priority to, like, I went to a Core and Connect class at Studio 73, which was beautiful, by the way. They do hot yoga, hot Pilates, and it's literally 2 minutes away from our house. So that is being cemented in my diary as a non-negotiable for my emotional well-being as well as my physical well-being. And you know, it was a beautiful day like this when I went, and the sun was coming through the studio, and I came home feeling much more calmer, didn't I?
Yeah, you can definitely feel that vibe off you.
And then did the grounding on the course on Monday night as well for my health coaching, which was also very nice. And yeah, I think, is there anything else you want to add to that topic before we talk about the one that's been requested for us to cover?
No, I think just what I said earlier, you know, if you do go through high stress times and you've got a health goal in mind, you've got to just take a step back sometimes and prioritise. And that's not to say completely give up, because often the health goals can help with that stress
Yeah.
in terms of giving you an outlet, in terms of giving you a focus. So it's not a case of going, oh fuck it, I'm just going to go and just eat tonight. But it's about progress over perfection. That's what we always say, isn't it?
Yeah.
And about kind of looking at, right, what can I do versus what can't I do. So you might not be able to get to the gym because of what's going on. Okay, well, what can you do? Can you do a 10 or 15-minute walk? Can you do a 15-20-minute home workout using a YouTube video? So it's just about having that growth mindset, I think.
Yeah, 100%. So on our question box as a request was resilience when it comes to fat loss, and there's also resilience when it comes to building muscle as well. But as we know, in this day and age, the fat loss, it's coming back into fitness again, isn't it? Everyone wanting to be skinny again, especially women.
So you've seen a lot with celebrities, aren't you?
Oh my goodness, with
Skeletal.
Sharon Osbourne and Kelly Osbourne.
Ariana Grande.
And it's actually quite scary because with them being celebrities, they're under the spotlight constantly, and their way of life, they don't have the luxury of what we have, where you don't have to be in the limelight. But fat loss, and it's been happening for years, hasn't it? People think stick to salads, do endless amounts of hours worth of cardio, 12,000 steps, go into loads of classes, when actually you do need to get your output, which is your cardio and your walking. But the other bit that people are just not getting right is the recovery and the food and the relationships with food to make the fat loss happen. And, I say it time and time again, if I can do a 9-month prep and a 4-month prep with bodybuilding and have 5 meals a day, still with carbs, still with fats, and get as lean as what I got, it's about training that, in my opinion, for most people, which they don't want to do, which is why they want to jump on these quick fixes without thinking, okay, yeah, I'm definitely going to lose all this fat. But especially if people don't train, they're going to lose the muscle and just look like drippy melted candles, just bodies with skin, basically.
I think it's important to distinguish, to begin with, fat loss versus weight loss. Weight loss includes losing muscle, which is what you just alluded to there. Skin can become very loose. Versus fat loss, where the aim of the game is to lose body fat whilst maintaining as best you can muscle. You will lose muscle, you always do, in any weight loss period. But it's about distinguishing the two. What exactly do you want? What is your goal? Because if it's fat loss, like what you were saying about salads, steps, cardio, it's actually the complete opposite of that. It's very high protein, resistance training 3 to 4 times a week, as well as the cardio and as well as being in a calorie deficit. Versus weight loss, then it is a lot of cardio, it is a calorie deficit that may not include a lot of protein. So it all depends what aesthetic you're going for, really. The healthier of the two is obviously fat loss, because the more muscle you maintain, the healthier you're going to be. That's kind of been proven across many studies, and it's very hard. I think the question was saying, how do you manage it, wasn't it, or something like that? And it is very difficult in this day and age. I've done a lot of talking about it on Vitalis's page and a lot of work on it about the environments that we live in. It's all geared up to hyper palatable, low nutritious foods. Your Mackies, your petrol stations, your crisps, your chocolate. There's advertisement everywhere for it. There's temptation everywhere. So if you're in a calorie deficit and you're hungry, your body craves those quick carbohydrates when it's low on energy and when it's in a calorie deficit. And that's exactly what they're geared up to do. So it becomes even harder to maintain those fat loss phases, those weight loss phases, because you're surrounded. The other day I sat during the day and I counted how many adverts for ultra processed foods, fast foods I was exposed to throughout the entire day, through television, radio, social media, and being out and about. Guess how many I got to in the end?
40.
27.
A lot.
It is a lot. And, you know, I'm an adult, that's all being directed at kids and stuff as well. So it's very difficult. And this is where like health coaching is really good because it looks at those barriers. Like one thing I've stopped doing is when we go out on our walk, we have a co-op literally on our doorstep, more or less. So the temptation is always there to go in and buy something. So I've stopped now taking like a debit card out with me because then you can't even physically buy something.
Yeah, because you left your phone, and obviously we tap and go on our phones now.
Yeah.
So I got back from work, I thought, where are you? And then I'll try ringing you, your phone's on vibrate. So that's already a good habit stacker there.
And that's what I mean. It's about bending the environment to work for you. So there is a lot of temptation around. Like a good one is deleting food ordering apps off your phone.
Yeah,
that's a huge one because if it's not there, you can't use it. Because the environment is against you. You know, big companies are prioritizing profit over health, and you really don't matter to them. All they're bothered about is getting what's in your bank account into their bank account. So they're not going to make it easier for you. They're going to make it harder. So to answer your question, it's a lot about looking at your routine, your lifestyle, and seeing what you can eliminate to make that easier.
Even on Facebook today, like, I mean, I've got people on Facebook I don't really know, but then I saw someone's post saying, if you could keep 3, which 3 would you keep? And I thought, I felt like I didn't comment because it would have come across quite rude. I was going to comment none. And it was all like a fried up breakfast, McDonald's, McFlurry, and it was all from just awful food, like takeaway food, and then the comments were endless. Like, oh, I'd definitely keep this. And there was not one comment that said, oh, I couldn't. I'd probably just get rid of all of it. It was like, you got to pick 3, and all the comments were, I'd have this, I'd have this, I'd have this. So everyone's pleasures are for the mouth, basically. And when people are eating this food, they've got into such a routine. Because at the minute on the course, talking about things like circadian rhythm, which is our 24-hour body clock, and how it regulates not just around day and night, but how it regulates around your eating patterns and what you. By the way, this is Pepsi Max; it's not full fat Coke. And you know, when you are constantly someone who maybe works in McDonald's and they get a free McDonald's lunch, they're going to go, well, it's free; it's not costing me anything, but it is costing you something. It's costing you your health, and you know, fat. Our body needs it to regulate hormonal function and recovery, as well as protection of our joints. It keeps us warm. It's our natural insulation. So,
but too much of something is never a good thing.
No, agreed. But as well, we're trying to teach that, especially females. You know, people go, oh, it's too high in fat, or it's too many carbs.
Yeah, you need fat. It's just, you know,
within reason.
Need to be within reason.
Yeah.
Again, going back to the food, it is designed to be tasty and to trigger those pleasure centers in your brain. That's why you keep coming back for more, and that's why sometimes when you are changing your diet, it can feel so hard because you're going from hyper palatable foods to maybe foods that don't taste as good because they don't have those added chemicals, they don't have those added salts, those added sugars. So I think we've said it before on one of these, it's about baby steps, making little changes over a long period of time, and then it'll feel easier, and before you know it, it just becomes the norm.
That's what I'm doing with 3 of my photo shoot girls at the minute. I've got 4. One of my girls is building lean mass at the minute, so her food is very high. Whereas the other 3, 2 are on a cut, but one is on an extreme cut. So they've all got a different focus. And one of them said in PT last night, she said, I am so scared to put the weight back on. But she ordered an outfit for the photo shoot. She said, I've had to send it back. It's a medium, but I need a small. And one of my other ladies, she's like, I've got size 10 jeans on again. I've not been in a size 10 for years. And she's come from being like a 16, 18. She's been with me for a year now. And there's the fear there already of, they said, oh, I don't want to put the weight back on. But because I've been manipulating and changing the food weekly, not monthly, weekly. I've been looking at them I said, if you want to send your pictures to me every day via WhatsApp, we do a full check-in on a Monday with me. But that's called accountability, me checking how the body's responding to that food in the fat loss phase. And I will do the same after the photo shoot. We will reverse diet them. So we'll gradually reintroduce things like pasta and certain foods they've not had for a long time that are more carby and starchy. Hello. So yeah, you can't just say, right, here's your diet plan, off you go, crack on.
If you just poo because you smell.
Oh, great. Thanks. I think we need to close it on that then, because I don't want his smelly bum on me.
Well, I would just say one more thing before we do. I think the maintenance after a weight or a fat loss phase is harder than the actual weight or fat loss itself, in my opinion, because that's when you do start to revert. You start to go back to those foods because you think, oh, I've been restricted from them for so long. That's why, going back to what I said, small baby steps and just gradually replace things. Before you know it, you'll get to a point where you are maintaining weight once you get to where you want to be, and you can still have those things in moderation. Like we always talk about, we have a Friday night, that's where we'll have a packet of crisps, that's where we'll have a few drinks, and that's our enough when it comes to it.
Yeah.
And the rest of the week we've got that to look forward to then.
And we're very open about it. That's why we say it.
We never try and say
we don't hide it. We're not going to be the two people that say we're perfect every single week, because what is perfect? It's different. It's different people. You stink of cat poo now.
It's not me. It's he's chatting there. It's coming in here.
But yeah, depending on your goal, if you want an extreme fat loss, you've got to face facts. It is going to be hard. Depending on if it's a stage prep, a photo shoot prep, you've got to swallow how you feel and just get on with it. If it's for, I don't know, a holiday or a wedding or something, then like two of my girls that have been dieting for the shoot, it's been steady. Like it's been a 12-week prep. They've got 2 weeks, 2.5, 3 weeks left, and they've like, I've loved it. Can't believe how fast it's gone, and I've actually really enjoyed the new habits that I've taken from this as well. So they've not felt like they're in the trenches. Yeah, they've had moments of hunger. They're going to, because your hunger hormone of ghrelin is going to release more when there's not as much food going in. But then the leptin hormone will kick in quicker as well, because the stomachs will have shrunk a little bit, which is why the reverse dieting side of fat loss is really important. So
that's a good place to end. Yes. Thank you for watching as always. Any questions, please DM us. We're always happy to help.
Yeah, DMs are open, and have yourselves a wonderful day.